Back here on Debrief into the aftermath of Turkey's referendum. From President Tayyip Erdogan's perspective, it's all over and done. A clear yes vote by 51.4% that grants him the expanded powers that he's been campaigning for. But for others, it's far from a done deal. Turkey's leading opposition, the Republican People's Party, has demanded the vote be annulled. They've called it an illegitimate election that saw unofficial ballots accepted at the last minute. Then there's the OSCE, that's the body of international observers for the vote. They are echoing some of those same concerns. And then there's the EU.
We call on the Turkish authorities to consider the next steps very carefully and to seek the broadest possible national consensus in the follow-up to the referendum.
It's a futile effort to discredit the referendum by spreading false rumors. The people's will has been reflected at the ballot box and the debate is over. Everyone should respect the outcome, especially the main opposition. It is wrong to debate on the voting percentage.
Well, I see that.
Our senior Middle East correspondent, Mohammed Al-Qasim, reporting for us from a demonstration in Istanbul. Mohammed, take us through some of what you've been hearing there today.
This is one of the steps that the Turkish opposition is taking to apply pressure on the government. One of them is protests like this one here. Few thousands of them started a protest in Istanbul about 2 hours ago, and it's still going. Maybe a few hundreds left, but they're very passionate about what they're doing. This is this is a way to tell the Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan that they are absolutely not going to accept the results of Sunday's referendum. They say that there has been manipulation of the results. There has been doubts casted by international monitors and others who are doubting the results of the referendum. Let me just show you here. This is one of the Turkish very passionate protesters who's actually not a part of the protest. In fact, she is part of saying that it's not of our business. But this just to show you, Nurit, of how passionate this issue has been here in Istanbul. There has been also supporters of Mr. Erdogan who came out saying that the referendum came out, the results came out on Sunday and it was over. And this echoes what President Erdogan also said, that any argument about the referendum ended with the results on Sunday evening. And he actually was emboldened, and his position was strengthened and legitimized by a phone call by President Donald Trump last night. And this is what we have been hearing throughout the day. This is an issue that really polarized this society, the Turkish society, and also it was reflected by the results of the referendum. Exactly. So as you can see, Nurit, this is something that is absolutely getting the passion and emotions of the Turkish people out, and this is what we're seeing today. This is one of a number of protests that took place around Istanbul and also around the Republic. Not to say that there aren't others who are actually supporting Mr. Erdogan, but once again, this is one of the main reasons, or actually I should say, this is one of the referendum results. It really polarized the society here, and it actually showed in the results of the referendum on Sunday. Back to you, Nurit.
Mohammed, although those protesters are giving you a tough time doing your job reporting, I'm going to stay with you. Give us a sense of what they are actually asking for. Do the protesters that you have spoken to at those demonstrations have any faith that this is going to lead to something?
Of course. Nurit, listen, I don't know this gentleman. He just asked me if he can say a few words. What's your name, please?
My name is Tolga. I'm a student here at Istanbul.
Why are you here?
Yeah, I'm here because the elections were most probably, almost certainly rigged. On the day of the election, during the election, the board for overseeing the election actually issued a decree that authorized the validity of voting ballots that weren't actually stamped by the board in the first place.
But the Electoral Commission validated the referendum results. What is the opposition going to do? I mean, are you just only going to come out and protest? What steps do you have to get your what you want, which is the annulment of the referendum?
Well, today we are here. Today we are raising our voice, telling the world and telling the government that we are here. We are more than 50% of the country that voted no but our votes were deleted, the elections were rigged, and the new results, the presidency is just a big lie. It's just a big shame for democracy. And we are here. This is our country. We have rights, and we will protect our rights.
Thank you very much, Nurit. Once again, this is to show you how polarized, how split the Turkish society is. This is an example. There are those who are protesting against the referendum results and those who are in support of the referendum results. From Istanbul, back to you.
Mohammed Al-Qasim reporting there at that demonstration in Istanbul. Thanks very much for this. Here in the studio to give us a little bit of context, Galia Lindenstrauss, she's an expert on Turkey and a research fellow at the INSS. Galia, when we see all of those scenes, let's take this one step further. Can you envision an actual investigation, the government allowing this to happen? Any change to that vote?
No, I don't see it at the moment. The protests are still small. Even in 2013, when we had the Gezi Park protests, which were much larger, it didn't really lead to anywhere. And I think this time, I understand the protesters, the stakes were so high, the margin was so close, the feeling that there was evidence for fraud by many people feel that they saw this. But still, I think the protests are going to be, we're going to see it in the next few days. But it's going to be limited to the cities, which anyhow voted against the changes suggested by the
choir.
Yes.
So let's take that one step further. If we're looking at the wide-ranging new powers that Erdogan now has after that referendum, what sort of stands out to you most? What do you think is going to make the biggest difference?
I think basically this formalizes a situation that already exists. I mean, he was elected as president in 2014, and since then he has basically been the one who is orchestrating what is happening in Turkey. What I think is problematic in the new system is that it's tailored to Erdogan. Only Erdogan can hold all of this together. The person that will succeed him will not be able to do this, and this will cause instability in the future.
For the over 140,000 arrested and detained since that failed coup, do you think that this spells just the beginning of the end in some way?
I think this is something that is continuing from the summer. There is a feeling that if instability will prevail in Turkey, then there will be more purges against what is perceived as the enemy from within. But if things will relax, I think this might
a turning point, undoubtedly. Galia Lindenstrauss, thanks very much for weighing in here. Still to come, right here on Brief Encounter, something a little bit better for the soul. Conversations with the people who make up this part of the world beyond all the headlines. This story of the Jerusalem-based nonprofit helping hundreds of elderly residents find some new meaning much later in life. Stay with me.